Hello, welcome to Yoga Well. My name is Lenora. This is going to be a standing balancing practice to give us an opportunity to cultivate trust and connect with our center, learning how to balance in the midst of challenge. And what I'm going to invite you to do is, rather than strive for the perfect balance, whatever that might look like or mean, I invite you to consider what it means to just create some safe space for yourself. Safe space to find balance without being attached to what the pose looks like. So being willing to modify, adapt, adjust, or simply offer grace and try again as needed. As we cultivate this opportunity to create safe space within ourselves, we then carry that safe space into whatever is unfolding before us. And that gives us the ability to feel centered and grounded, rooted within ourselves, regardless of what's happening around us. So with that in mind, have some fun with this. Maybe smile a few times, laugh if necessary, but make it your own, and we're going to begin standing. So then find yourself in a standing posture. Get those feet rooted into the ground. Draw the navel to the spine, roll those shoulders back and down, and just start to feel rooted and grounded in the earth. So believe it or not, even with 2 feet rooted, you are balancing. Of course, we're going to add a little more challenge to it than this, but take a moment to just maybe close the eyes. Welcome the breath in. Exhale, release. Let go of any stress, any anxiety or worries, any sadness or grief that you're holding on to. Let it go with the exhale. Drawing from the breath all that you need. And then exhale. Open your eyes. Feeling grounded and rooted against the earth, we're going to begin with tree pose. And so begin to shift your weight over to the left. And as you do, just bring the right foot to meet the left on the ball of the foot, toes spread wide. Shoulders back and down. Draw the energy up from the back of the thigh. Drop the tailbone down towards the earth and begin to engage the core. Now, as you're here, believe it or not, this is tree pose. So you can bring those hands straight to a prayer pose and just practice here. You can also cross that foot over the top of the left foot, and this is also tree pose. You can bring the heel by the side of the ankle. Once again, another variation of tree pose. And then you can begin to explore, possibly lifting that foot off. If that's not working for you, put it straight back down. And if you want to go a little higher, you can bring that foot up. The only place we don't practice tree is pressing right in against the knee. It's dangerous on that joint. So above the knee, below the knee, anywhere in between is fine, just not on the knee. So find your focal points. That place to set your gaze inward and outward that enables you to find a centering place of balance. Let the breath flow. See where you can soften. Just a few more breaths. Lots of grace, lots of compassion. On this exhale, go ahead and set that right foot down. Shake out that left. Great job. Not because I know what your pose looked like, because that doesn't matter. Great job just showing up for yourself. All right, here we go on the other side. Root it down. Shoulders back and down. Shift the weight over to the right and come to the ball of the foot on the left. Once again, remembering this is a valid practice of tree. You can cross that foot over. Bring it to the side of the body, or begin to bring it up to the calf, or maybe explore what it might feel like to bring it up higher. Now, each side of our body is different. Each day we're different. Gravity shifts, we shift. We carry tension on each side of our body a little differently, and so let your body reset, recalibrate. Find the focal points. Let the breath flow with ease. Finding as much stillness as you can, but not being worried about wiggles or shakes. Letting it be what it is. Meeting yourself here in the practice. One more full round of the breath. Beautiful job. Go ahead and shake that out. All right, you're doing a great job. Shoulders back and down. We're going to work on a seated chair pose, single leg. And so I'm going to invite you to just let the hands slide down. Take a look at the toes. So we're just supporting the body here, navel to spine, making sure the knees are behind the toes. As you feel ready, bring those hands to prayer pose and send that gaze out towards the short edge of your mat or just beyond. Begin to shift the weight over to the left and then come back to the toes again. So similar to tree pose here. We're bending down into that chair pose and maybe lifting that foot off into a single leg chair posture. Now, if you've been practicing for a while and you want to add to the challenge, you can just shift that leg to the other side, or maybe even wrap those toes around. Now, when the toes are wrapped, we're finding ourselves actually in an eagle posture. We're not using the upper body at the moment. We're just keeping that gentle in prayer pose, but the lower body is practicing eagle or some variation of chair. Finding that focal point, seeing where you can soften, finding the center. One more inhale. On this exhale, gently unwind or simply put your foot back down. Shake out that left. And we will begin to find our way into the other side. Shoulders start back and down. Feet are rooted. Slide those hands, support yourself into that first chair pose. Engage the navel to spine. Shift the weight over. Bring the hands to prayer pose. And begin to explore. Toes on the earth. Toes lifted. Maybe the foot crosses. Maybe it wraps around. Now I have to bend a little deeper to get that wrap in there. You can explore what that's like for you. If you're feeling any pain in the knees, come back to a standing posture and go back to that supported position. And then just explore having the toes on the ground or barely lifted. Keep the bend shallow. And if you continue to experience challenge, just come back to a standing posture or return to practicing tree. One more full breath in. And release that out and down. I hope you're having some fun. All right, beautiful way to challenge ourselves, to practice offering ourselves grace. We're gonna work on seated pigeons. So we're gonna get a little bit more into those thighs again, roll those shoulders back and down. Navel to spine, tailbone to the earth. Begin to shift the weight to the left and lift that right foot up. Now flex that foot. See if it'll cross over. Now if this is too much, just go back to the chair pose or to tree. As you make your way into the standing seated pigeon, we're just bending that knee. And with all of my prior knee injuries, I have to be very slow and careful listening to my body to see where the invitation is today, where the invitation is in the moment. Find your way. Find your balance. Offer yourself ample grace and compassion. Let the breath flow. One more inhale, and on the exhale, gently unfold. Shake out that tension from the standing leg. All right, what we do on one side, we must attempt to do on the other. So here we go. Navel to spine, tailbone down. Feet rooted into the earth. Begin to shift over and lift that left foot. Flex the ankle that protects the ankle. Cross it over at the knee, above the knee. Hands to prayer pose. And as you breathe, begin to find your way in on this side. Listening to your body. Slow and steady wins. The practice, consistency, meeting ourselves where we are, cultivating that safe and welcoming space within, even in the midst of challenge. Finding our center, returning to the core of our being, fully present. One more round. Inhale, exhale, and out we go. So that descent wasn't as graceful on my part, but that's where that grace is extended. So go ahead and shake all that out. We're gonna try one more. Feel free, if this is not your cup of tea for today, to go back and practice any of the other balances we've just worked on. I'm gonna give this one a whirl. So shoulders back and down. Drawing a breath in. Shifting the weight to the left and bringing that right leg up again. So here I can go ahead and just take the knee in and find the balance. A couple other options are to explore taking the inner part of the foot and begin to extend that leg, finding where it might straighten today. And then maybe lifting that arm back, finding the balance point, finding your focal point, letting the breath flow. And release it back down. Whew. Good stuff. All right, let's try the other side. Once again, each side of our body is different. So just shift the weight over and just begin to explore. See what's gonna work on this side. Maybe exploring a straightening of the leg. Listening to the body, offering grace, finding that point of focus, working to maintain balance. All right. Whew. So as you can see, there's no perfect practice, there's only perfect presence. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this practice. I hope it's given you an opportunity to cultivate some safe and fun space within. And I send you on from here, hoping that you'll carry that safe space into wherever you are headed next. I send you with love and light. Namaste.